Hi, this is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, here to fix you and help you grow your property and your business affairs to the next level. So if you're looking for knowledge and insights about how to get involved in property, solve your problems about scalability in your property business, then do watch our 20-minute clips. We've taken them from hundreds and, well, thousands of videos that we've taken over the last 6 months, and we've broken down into simple chunks which can make them useful for you. So do watch and do subscribe to our YouTube channel underneath as well. Things which have meaning, I suppose. But I can actually quite easily let go, and literally, if I needed to, I could just literally let go of all my books and actually give them away to charity or something overnight. So it's not, it's just a nice to have sometimes as a comfort feeling. If you want to refer to a book or if you want to read it, you've got it on your shelf. But I don't think it's healthy, as Deborah and Dee are saying, to be actually stuck in that sort of hoarding mentality. And it's very easy to just not be aware of it.
Okay, before I switch over to Deborah again, I'm going to give you all a lot of love hearts. We've got about 7, 8 love hearts today. So all these women attracting the love. Can't be me. Definitely can't be Lakhi Singh, because he's not much on the love side. He's more of a clinical cutthroat businessman sitting in the center of the capital, making money as we talk. His machine is ting as we are talking. So, Deborah, coming to you, we've got a shout out, Mandy, we've got a shout out to Amar Ali, John Smith, Nina Kapoor, and a new person, Leslie and Hampton Nicole. Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Lots of interesting conversation. Deborah, can I ask you now then? When you did this, you let go of everything, which is excellent because we're talking about talent over hard work. That's a topic that we've got going on in the background, just in the background there. And we've got Lakhi Singh and his rescue associate model that he is now promoting out on a free for the basic members. An excellent way to keep yourself busy, making moves, networking with people, calling people, talking to other people around the country, with friends, family who've got issues. You want to help them and you want to make money at the same time. What a wonderful position. Deborah, so you let go of everything. Your friends told you, you ranked America. Your friends said, I can't hear you. What are you saying? I said, okay, I will ring Australia. She said, get rid of it all. Throw it away, because you're going to come back and you're not going to want it anyway. So, Deborah, listening to that advice, you let it all go. I remember you telling us that you went off to the Amazon somewhere. Please tell me, how do you enter back into a system which is based purely on money? Not on relationship, not on love, not on trees, not on humanity, not on nature, but on money. A system that Lakhi Singh swims in every day, swims through his money piles like that, pulls out a £20,000 bundle of money and throws it into his helicopter. He's got some fuel. He wants to go visit a friend in Australia in his helicopter. Can't do. The helicopters don't have that distance, but I've made that up. So you tell me, Deborah, how did you come back to the madness after being in the Amazon?
Well, for a start, one of the things that you just said was that, about money driving everybody. And for me, it never has done. It's always been beyond money. So when I gave everything away, I was able to lose attachment to my stuff that had held me prisoner. And that was the new meaning that I'd given to hoarding stuff, that actually I was becoming a prisoner and it was stopping my freedom, which is an important value that I have. So coming back from the Amazon, I traveled for 11 months in South America. And during that time, I realized how little we actually need. And so now I only buy stuff if I need it or if I really, really love it. I don't buy it just for the sake of it. And in terms of books, like Dee, I love books, you know, and that was what actually the hardest thing for me to let go of. And I did keep some stuff, and I've got some stuff up in my father's loft, and I've got books. But what I try to do now is buy ebooks that I can read on, you know, my iPad, so that it's not physical storage space. But then when you look at it, you've also got clutter digitally as well. And some people are addicted to like digital clutter and not sorting that out and sorting the email inbox out. I'm terrible for that. You know,
we've got the same problems. We have problems with even worse than that. We have viruses, and we have spam attacks, and we have hacking and all that stuff. And we just the way it's crazy world out there. Dee, coming back to you. Lots of love hearts going around. 1 or 2 for you as well. Tell me, Dee, what do you think about the madness? Do you think there's madness in money? Do you think doing a deal and making a few £1,000s can get to your head? Or are you more grounded and you keep real, keep to your real self? Have you made a lot of money that you felt has affected you?
I think the money mentality, it depends on what you're going to do with it, really. If it's it's really all about, you know, anything that's all about feeling out of control. And a lot of the thing is with money is you're out of control. You feel like, how do you control this? How do you control that? We've been brought up in a society that relies heavily on money, and that's not anybody. It's not our fault.
Nobody else is doing this. Is a love heart from me to you. Wow, you've won my heart this morning. Continue, please.
No, we've been brought up in a society that relies heavily on money, and that's not society. It's not our fault. It's the people above that actually bring this mindset to it, that we need money, and our world is created around it. You can't live in a house without paying for the money.
Yes.
You can't with money. You can't, you know, get things that you want without having to use money to get things with. A lot of the time, we don't live. I mean, I've been to South America as well. I mean, Deborah and I seem to have had very parallel lives. You know, I've travelled around South America, Peru. I've been in the Amazon jungle.
Wow, your plane was flying over as Dee was meditating. How about that?
That's it.
Okay.
And so again, as Deborah's just said, you know, you go to somewhere like that and you realise how people live and how little that you do need. So as far as I'm concerned, money is a really good tool. Like a hammer is the right tool for some things, and a screwdriver is the right tool for other things. You know, money's a good tool, and we can do a lot with money when we have it, and we can do a lot to help other people. And so it's all about what's in here, you know. I'm not averse to money at all. It just has to be coming from the right place. That's
excellent, Dee. You've won my heart. I don't care what anybody else says about you. I love you. Right. Okay. We're going to flip back from 2 wonderful people who seem to have found, in essence, a balance in existence in this crazy world. Come back to Lakhi, because he's living in the we call it a part of the body I don't want to mention now, but he's living in a part of the organ of the money market. And how does money affect you? Like, have you been affected by money? Did you ever do a deal and it got to your head that you started smelling the intoxication of your own BS? Is that the way it works, or are you quite grounded? Are you able to see past the money and you realize that there is a basic in everything? Are you led by what people think? Are you quickly led astray, or are you a person who knows how to keep himself centered?
Right, that's about 10 questions in one. Which question do you have?
Whichever one you have clarity on, sir?
Okay, I think it's quite simple. I don't get misdirected by other people, although it's very easy to get caught up in other people's, to say, cheekiness or clever tactics, especially if you're working in something like Mayfair. So I think it's always good to have a partner. So VJ Sal usually talks me out of anything that people are doing, which are which are not, let's just say, quite straightforward. Because I tend to take people on face value, so I don't always read into what they're, if they're going to be cloak and dagger. But I think after a time, it's you get to know really who's doing what they're doing, when they're doing it, why they're doing it. So it's quite easy to read through people's intentions after a while. So although VJ Sal and other people in our team are very good at filtering people out, it's because I'm a bit too sort of easygoing sometimes. So that's one thing. Second thing, I don't think I get wired by money or doing a big deal. I think I actually probably got bigger intentions than a lot of people might perceive as well. So a lot of people around me, especially people that are a bit small-minded, might be thinking, oh, he's doing a deal, but he thinks he's a big boy now. But that's not really the case. So I think there's a lot of miscomprehension actually when you're doing things, and people tend to misread them because they what they can't see what you're doing, and what is actually going on is actually two different things. So I think it's very important to actually make sure that your own intentions are clear. It doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. So you have to ignore people that you have to ignore people really that have a lot of inability to try and listen to what you're saying, and they want to talk over you.
Yeah? You're doing these big deals, Lakhi Singh, that people
see,
think
like I'm doing now. I can literally talk without actually having to listen to VJ Sal. See that?
Very excellent. So it shows a height of ignorance, I think, where you're not listening to the compare, but that's all right. So is it the fact that you're doing a big deal, Lakhi, do you find that attracts a lot of attention or a lot of enmity? Or is it the fact that whatever comes out of your mouth when you're doing a big deal, like maybe striking an element of arrogance, or maybe an element of you are, the bee's knees? You may say things that, and are words powerful tools? Deborah, what do you say? Once somebody is resonating or emanating humility, doesn't that manifest in what comes out of their mouth? Or do you feel that people say things, but they mean something else, and they're trying to work out, and other people trying to work out, are they actually saying what they mean? Or are you looking for a deeper essence in people? How do you configure arrogance in money then?
Hang on, you've just asked me like 3 different questions.
That's right. You can answer anyone.
So you make it really confusing. You need to try and ask a simple question for people so they can understand what you're asking.
When you become the compare, you can do it that way. Okay, sorry, Deborah. You can continue answer the question as you feel fit. So, is it that your words are powerful, or are your words to be taken lightly? That's the first question.
Great. So your words are so important, absolutely vital, because through your words create sound vibration, and everything in the universe is vibration in frequency.
Ooh,
and when you speak something, you speak something and when you think something, you are bringing it into being. So you have to be super careful of your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words become your reality.
Deborah, one for you too. There you are. And right, 2 of you ladies have wooed me today. Are you not both? I hope this is not a conspiracy to woo VJ Sal. You're both trying to get into my love heart. Okay. Dee, I'm sorry about that, Deborah. I think the point you've made is wonderful and deep. It's deeper than I expected. Dee, tell me, if it is that you're resonating arrogance in money, and you're saying there is an evil, there's a negative energy in money, as long as you use money for good. If you have money by way of whichever means, whether you're a mover and shaker like Lakhi Singh, big man in the City of London, or you're a little shopkeeper in the north, a little shop is making enough money to pay your bills. If it is that by your words you resonate arrogance and you're resonating dismissiveness, do you feel what Deborah said is correct?
Okay, so first of all, I don't believe there's evil in money. Money's just money. There's no evil in money. Okay, it's what we add to it when we have it. That's the difference. So if somebody has a lot of money and they open their front door, they close it behind them, and they've got a gold toilet in the bathroom, it's full of opulence, but there's somebody sitting outside with a tin can begging on the street, there's not a balance there. And
isn't that called what's the word, opulence? Isn't that
yes,
what it is?
Yeah, your house is opulent. And I didn't just go to Peru and see the difference there, where you realize how much you don't need. I also went about 4 years ago now, 3.5 years ago now, to Vegas, and the contrast struck me completely. I was staying in, I think it was called the Wynn hotel. It was at, all of the hotels are casinos over there. So I was staying in the Wynn for a few days, and you go inside there and it's, I don't know if any of you have ever been, it's just complete opulence inside. There are people feeding machines as if it, you know, money was coming out of the bottoms. It was just like boom, 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 boom. And you go outside and you've got people with placards outside saying, feed me, I've got 3 children and we're starving. And it was like the hotel was there and the person was there. It was just so unbelievable. I just found it incredible that there is.
Was it shocking or was it unbelievable?
It was shocking and unbelievable that, you know, that these people were just wanting to get more and more for themselves and win loads and loads and loads, and yet there were people out, they were walking past people who had nothing and they were still keeping it to themselves. It's quite shocking.
So there is an element there. So money itself is not evil, but a weak mind, and a weak mind can be fed off the intoxication of money. Is that correct then? It's
like anything, you know, we have an addiction to everything. You know, we can have an addiction to everything, can't we? We can be addicted to, you know, Netflix or whatever. We can be addicted to, you know, drugs and alcohol, and well, alcohol's a drug. Okay. So, but yes, we can.
Right. Talking about all this and talking about being able to do, it goes back to Rescuemyproperties, and it goes back to the intention behind Rescuemyproperties and the associate model, helping people and making money at the same time. What a lovely balance in the statement. Before I ask Lakhi Singh how he come up with this great idea, Rescuemyproperties, as it is on the tin, before we ask him that question, we've got a 4th listener who's going to come up. Marsha, we've got a Waiting in the Winds. My love, you are the 3rd one for me this morning. Marsha, good morning. You've come in to ask a question. Is that right, Marsha?
I was invited.
Excellente. Do you want to ask a question then, please? Since you've been listening in with your lovely ears to this conversation this morning, what have you got to say about money, belongings, hoarding, the balance of money, using money for good, and the intoxication of wealth that feeds on weak minds? What have you got to say to any one of those things?
Well, I think me personally, using money for good is great. I use whatever money I have for good. and to see a smile on someone else's face, and to know that you make a difference. You know, like the Christmas party I show for the nurses at hospital. They appreciate it, and not only were they appreciated of me using my money for that, they were happy to know that I was appreciated of them.
Yeah.
So it's good for also use it for the right purpose. Also, you broaden that relationship you have with somebody else. That's how I think of money.
Excellent. We've got so much love going around this morning. I'm so impressed with the three ladies we have this morning, and I'm humble as well. Somewhat, I would say I'm embarrassed because I'm a bit bad when it comes to not sharing the love when it comes to money. I'm going to change myself. But before I change myself, I'll go back to Lakhi Singh. Lakhi Singh, what do you think about what Marsh has just said?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think you've got Charlie's Angels, isn't it? Today's VJ's Angels. So I think they're all people of the heart here. So I think we're lucky to have them on the show.
Honestly,
got 3 stars.
On an honest note, sometimes I crack jokes, but today I am humble to all three of you, and I find that there's so much goodness. Maybe that's the goodness that keeps the world going around. Yes, Lakhi. Continue,
Yeah, no, I
Lakhi.
agree. I think you've got 3 amazing ladies. I think they filled up the room with lots of love and giving. So I think it's very touching, isn't it? It's a very touching moment for this group.
Could you see yourself driving past in one of your limousines, throwing out a bit of money from the top of the window to one of us, 4 of us, looking up at you, Lakhi Singh, once you are doing your big deals in London?
I don't think it's hardly like that.
Pardon?
It's a good joke anyway.
So it's
That's
not
very
like
funny,
that.
VJ.
Okay.